Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're diving into the fascinating and frankly sometimes paradoxical world of autonomous transport. It's a technology promising, well, unprecedented safety, yet it's grappling with some really profound human challenges. So how close are we really to a world where cars just drive themselves or planes land without a pilot? Our deep dive today, based on the latest research, is going to unpack exactly that. We'll look at the critical questions about responsibility and, importantly, human perception when AI takes the wheel. Yeah, our mission today is really to go beyond the headlines. We want to unpack the huge promises of AI taking over driving or, flying the plane. But also, we have to confront the human challenges that definitely come along for the ride. We've waded through a stack of sources, everything from road safety stats to these really complex ethical dilemmas we're all going to face.
Exactly. And it's crucial to remember this isn't just about the tech itself. I mean, that's interesting, but fundamentally it's about us. We're going to explore how we as humans perceive safety, how we weigh up risk, and crucially, who do we actually hold responsible when these incredibly intelligent AI systems operate on their own? That human piece is, well, it's right at the core of this whole discussion.
Okay, let's start unpacking this with, I think, probably the most compelling argument for autonomous vehicles, safety. We found this really interesting anecdote about Matt Wolf. He actually said he felt safer in a Waymo self-driving car compared to being with a human Uber driver.
Yeah.
And the reason, apparently the AI just sticks rigidly to traffic rules, whereas human drivers, well, we can be a bit impulsive, maybe reckless sometimes, can't we?
And what's fascinating there is how that one person's experience links right into the bigger industry vision. Think about Uber, for example. Their long-term goal or ambition has always been to phase out human drivers completely. They want a fully autonomous fleet, specifically to get rid of those human factors. Distraction, being tired, aggressive, driving, all the things that cause so many problems on our roads today.
That argument about safety on the ground, it's incredibly powerful.
Yeah.
It does make you wonder, though, does the same logic just transfer straight to the skies? I mean, could AI-powered planes really cut down on pilot error, which we always hear is a big factor in crashes? Or are there completely different things to consider with aviation?
It's a really good question. And generally, yes, the potential is enormous. Pilot error, like you said, is a major cause of accidents. But think about air traffic control, too. That's one of aviation's biggest bottlenecks right now. You have human controllers, they get tired, they're under stress, and they can, and sometimes do, make fatal mistakes. But with AI, you could imagine this sort of hive-mind coordination between planes. Essentially, every aircraft in an area constantly talking to each other, and to a central AI system optimizing routes, avoiding conflicts in real time, that could massively improve both safety and efficiency in our crowded airspace. Now, the transition stage for this, it'll likely involve humans at first, probably monitoring the AI systems, almost like a co-pilot or a supervisor role. But the end goal really is to shift a lot of that tedious, error-prone work directly onto the AI. That frees up humans for more strategic oversight roles.
Okay, so we've touched on this incredible promise of safety. But even with the very best AI, things can and inevitably will go wrong sometimes. And that brings us to a really fundamental and frankly pretty thorny question. If a machine is genuinely in control, who is actually accountable when something catastrophic happens? We came across this one idea, quite thought-provoking, sort of tongue-in-cheek maybe, the AI sin eater, like a future job where a person literally takes the legal and ethical responsibility whenever an AI screws up and causes harm. An AI sin eater, imagine putting that on your LinkedIn profile. But it brilliantly highlights this huge legal gray area we're stepping into, doesn't it?
It really does. And that question, who's responsible, it zeroes right in on what we're seeing emerge, this significant accountability gap. If an autonomous car crashes, who is actually at fault? The person just sitting there. The
Okay.
car manufacturer, the company that wrote the AI code. Current laws often default to blaming individuals, right? But that model just becomes completely unworkable in these future scenarios, especially, cars literally designed without steering wheels or pedals. Who do you blame then? And this has massive implications for insurance, for liability as well. It's not just about assigning blame after the fact, it's about compensation and crucially preventing it from happening again. So managing AI accountability, well, it's probably going to need a complex mix of things. New legal frameworks, maybe entirely new liability models, and yes, perhaps even completely new job roles like that sin eater, just to navigate these unprecedented situations. The challenge isn't just defining fault, it's building a system that encourages innovation while still protecting the public.
Right, this inherent tension, it leads us straight into one of the most profound ethical challenges. Some people are calling it the AI trolley problem. And it's not just some abstract philosophical puzzle anymore. How does society actually react when the statistical safety improvements that AI promises clash head-on with those individual, visceral, AI-caused tragedies.
It's a really deep dilemma, and it touches on something psychologists call omission bias. We tend to judge harm caused by an action much more harshly than harm caused by inaction, even if the overall statistical outcome is worse. So imagine, hypothetically, self-driving cars could statistically cut pedestrian deaths by, say, 50%, a huge number, right? Maybe from 2 million a year globally down to 1 million. Even with that massive improvement, society would likely react far more strongly, more emotionally, to the 1 million deaths directly caused by AI than we currently do to the 2 million caused by human drivers, which we sort of accept as tragic accidents.
And the media amplification definitely plays a big part there, doesn't it? The research also highlighted how, kind of like shark attacks, every single Tesla incident gets massive, outsized news coverage. That can seriously skew public perception. It makes it feel like these AI accidents are happening all the time compared to the everyday tragedy of ordinary human-caused crashes, which, rarely make national news unless the circumstances are truly extreme.
Precisely. And this highlights a really deep psychological hurdle we face. The core tension isn't just about whether the technology can be safer overall, it's about how we humans perceive risk, how we assign accountability, especially when a machine is directly involved in a negative outcome. We seem to really struggle with the idea of an impersonal accident, even if, statistically speaking, it represents a safer system overall.
So as we start to wrap up this deep dive, it feels like we've journeyed through both the immense promise and the really significant challenges of autonomous transport. It's clear that while AI holds this incredible potential to drastically improve safety, mainly by reducing human error, society still faces some truly deep ethical, legal, and, well, psychological hurdles to overcome.
Yeah, and that leaves us perhaps with a final provocative thought for you to consider. Despite the clear statistical safety benefits that AI could bring, will our human perception, our fundamental need for individual accountability, that maybe inherent fear of machine error, will that ultimately stop the full widespread adoption of autonomous transport? Or will society eventually be forced to fundamentally redefine what safety and responsibility actually mean in a world increasingly driven by AI? Perhaps accepting a new kind of risk for a greater overall good.
It's a tough one. What stands out to you from this deep dive?